Our planet is known for its breathtakingly beautiful landscapes, but sometimes nature stops delighting us with its beauty and presents extremely dangerous surprises. In this video, I invite you to explore a collection of powerful natural phenomena that will take your breath away. Enjoy watching. A giant inflatable bear began performing acrobatic flips under the influence of powerful gusts of wind. During a football match, a thunderstorm struck and a strong lightning bolt hit near the stadium, but the players were undeterred and continued the game. While riding motorcycles can be thrilling, bikers have a tough time when caught in a storm on the road. A snowboarder was handling the slope well, but his ride triggered an avalanche. Fortunately, he managed to maintain balance and escape the pursuing snow. This footage captured the moment lightning struck a tall ride at Cedar Point Amusement Park. But don't worry, no one was hurt because the park was closed due to bad weather.
Whoa, that was a good one.
The creators of this video witnessed a giant tornado. It might seem like it's standing still, but that's an illusion. Either way, if you see a tornado, get out of there as fast as possible. After hail shattered the windows, the homeowner wasn't upset at all because he had insurance.
Oh my God! Holy shit!
This is what we had insurance.
Although this incident with tons of water pouring down a building looked horrifying, thankfully no one was hurt. During floods, a house stops being a safe place, and this video proves it. Many residents of the USA are no longer surprised by regular tornadoes, but they've definitely never seen a fire tornado. The Northern Lights are one of the most beautiful natural phenomena. In that moment, the ordinary night sky begins to sparkle fantastically, and it's hard to believe that you're on Earth and not another planet. Unfortunately, we'll never know what happened after the sunlight vanished and everything plunged into darkness. This crack in the ground with an eternally burning fire might seem like a great place for a barbecue, but being near it is anything but safe. The forces of nature are truly capable of anything. For example, it took less than a day for this phenomenon to turn an ordinary city into a raging river. Sometimes even an entire forest cannot withstand the power of nature. This must be what the beginning of the apocalypse looks like. This guy had a tough time when he ended up outside during a strong wind. At first, he tried to pull his own jacket off his head and then just tried to stay on his feet. These shots look rather eerie and could be straight out of a horror movie. What exactly happened in this town and why the puddles turned red remains a mystery. This water glows thanks to a special type of plankton. Their bioluminescence reacts to danger. This phenomenon attracts many tourists as it allows them to experience something magical. These shots demonstrate why it's so important to take floods seriously. You might think these are fireworks, but in reality, the author captured meteors. It's an incredibly stunning sight. The chance of a major hailstorm in the desert is very small, but don't forget that nature loves surprises.
لا إله إلا الله شاهد جبل البرد بين جبل العلم وجبل
Perhaps George Lucas witnessed something like this when he was inspired to create the twin sunset in Star Wars. This footage was taken during summer in Scotland. Such a number of mosquitoes could scare any tourist. Sometimes the durability of a road doesn't depend on the quality of materials, but on whether nature wants the asphalt to stay there. Volcanic eruptions can be not only extremely dangerous, but also extremely beautiful. This one, for example. In desert regions during windy weather, it's common to see tumbleweeds flying around. But in this case, it was a full invasion, from small ones to actual giants. This clip feels like a scene from the movie Ghostbusters. The only thing missing is a giant marshmallow man. If you ever decide to go mountain climbing, be ready for anything. These people, for example, faced falling ice blocks. Luckily, no one was hurt. This roof had served faithfully for many years, but everything comes to an end. Everyone knows water wears away stone, but in this case, it managed to destroy an entire highway. Perhaps the worst place to be during an earthquake is on a suspension bridge. But these people got lucky. The quake wasn't strong enough to destroy it. If you're in your car during a hailstorm, you should find shelter or a canopy. Otherwise, your car might end up looking like this. This is how a parking garage turns into a car wash during a heavy storm. After the river showed its true strength, the authorities in this region should consider building a stronger bridge. This really looks like a scene from a natural disaster movie, but this video shows a real-life event that often occurs in mountainous areas. During heavy rains, residents of this city feel like they're living in Venice, though there's little joy in that. Just imagine the force a wind must have to rip out a window along with part of the wall. That's what this poor house looked like after the hurricane passed. This footage clearly shows why it's better to stay in a safe place during a tornado.
Angin puting beliung di kahatek.
Tourists who rented a cabin in the mountains didn't expect to wake up inside a snowdrift. Fortunately, they found a shovel in the house and managed to escape this icy trap. During heavy rains, mountain rivers can become extremely dangerous with their incredibly fast currents, capable of sweeping away anything in their path. The author of the video was trying to figure out what exactly was floating in the air. Most commenters jokingly concluded that it might have been a flying broomstick, like in Harry Potter. It's unknown what exactly burst in this house, but the water stream was so powerful it tore part of the facade away. Just imagine how shocked the people in these cars were when they saw such a gigantic tornado with their own eyes.
This road is no longer passable in front of me. There are trees on this road. This tornado to the west has actually started to go south now. You gotta be very careful with this. It has hit.
This playground has a magnificent view of the sea, but sometimes being on it is extremely unsafe. For example, during this storm. The residents of this city had already suffered enough during the flood, but nature decided that wasn't enough and added huge ice chunks to the streets. This video proves that the forest is alive. Just take a look. It truly looks like the forest is breathing in and out. During the flood in this city, a whirlpool was spotted. It was later revealed that there was a manhole at that location where the water was being sucked in. Bus passengers had to escape the flood by lifting their feet onto the seats. Riding like this is extremely uncomfortable, but they had no other choice. People who live in cities with snowy winters live adventurous lives. Sometimes they have to dig out their car just to get to work. This rain was so heavy that in half a day it turned city streets into deep lakes. People had to take off their shoes and walk barefoot as the water rose above knee level. Despite that, they still carried umbrellas, as if that would keep them from getting wet. Seeing a tornado lift 8-ton trailers into the air is truly terrifying. Each wind turbine blade weighs dozens of tons, yet the wind managed to break them into small pieces. Tornadoes are extremely dangerous natural phenomena. They can reach speeds of 100 kilometers per hour, with wind speeds inside them reaching up to 300 kilometers per hour. Tornadoes spare no one and nothing. They destroy everything in their path. This footage captures one of the harshest winters in Mongolia over the past 100 years. More than 80% of the country was covered in snow over 1 meter deep, and air temperatures dropped below 22 degrees Celsius. The developer had received all the permits to commission this skyscraper, but nature decided that this structure shouldn't be there. When tsunami waves toss ships around like toys, the only comfort is knowing there were no people on board. If you're complaining about bad weather outside your window, perhaps you should see what real bad weather looks like. What exactly happened in this footage is unknown, but the guys filming it clearly risked their health for the sake of epic content.
No, I've never seen anything like this either. What is going on? What?
This is how snowplows try to deal with massive amounts of snow. This landslide completely wiped out a lake. This footage shows how powerful nature can be. People spend a lot of time, effort, and money building roads, but to nature it means nothing. She can destroy human creations in a matter of minutes. When wind and fire merge into one, the result is a truly fantastic phenomenon. However, despite its beauty, it's twice as dangerous as a regular tornado. While some people complain about the lack of snow, others wish they had none at all.
What?
These frames capture the moment when an entire mountainside collapses. Winter, like the Snow Queen, decided this place would be her kingdom. But admittedly, these shots look mesmerizing. Camels are incredibly resilient animals, well suited to heat, but they probably weren't ready to endure freezing temperatures. You could watch this volcanic eruption forever, but only if you're at a very safe distance. Have you ever seen two suns at the same time? No? Well, now you have. I'm sure many of you have seen an eclipse, but only a few have witnessed such an illusion live. Sometimes hailstones get so large they barely fit in a hand. And while this may look impressive, serious consequences are inevitable. These kinds of tornadoes are sometimes called fire devils, and looking at this footage, you can see why. When water freezes on objects in cold weather, it creates an icy shell that perfectly copies their shape. This phenomenon is both beautiful and unusual.
Mira. Mira qué belleza. 2:30. ¿Qué me van a hablar del frío?
Interestingly, due to its great depth, Lake Toho in Russia's Primorsky Krai can remain covered by thick ice even when the temperature is 30 degrees Celsius. These meteors resemble the silhouettes of the fictional hero Optimus Prime and his Autobots on another journey. The base camp of Everest is located at an altitude of 5,364 meters above sea level. Climbers live there in tents that may look flimsy but are actually built to withstand a lot. After the flood, the owner of this house looked out the window as if into an aquarium. To his surprise, a real fish swam by. The scale of some volcanic eruptions is so massive that even astronauts aboard the ISS have witnessed them. Sometimes mosquitoes gather in colonies that resemble small tornadoes or the tentacles of an otherworldly monster. The aftermath of this flood once again proves that the power of nature should never be underestimated. This hail was so large it could easily replace baseballs. When a fire broke out near Lake Van in eastern Anatolia, Turkey, the sky turned blood red. It looked both beautiful and terrifying. These clouds grouped together in a way that makes it seem like a real spaceship is hiding behind them.
Allahu Akbar, Subhanallah. Apa ini ya?
Every year, around 10,000 fires occur worldwide, often due to human negligence. So it's no surprise that nature sometimes punishes humanity for its carelessness. The author of this video captured a rare blue meteor. These thunderclouds look so beautiful and unusual that it's hard to believe this video was taken on our planet. Looking up at this tornado from below, it feels like it's reaching into space, or that someone finally summoned a real-life genie.
It was on the ground, it's off the ground now.
This tsunami illusion looked very realistic. The man noticed it and continued his walk on the beach undisturbed. During a solar eclipse, various illusions can be observed, some of which create the effect of alien spaceships appearing in the sky. Mudslides and landslides are very dangerous natural phenomena in mountainous areas, and although in this footage we can see severe damage to the forest, fortunately no people were harmed. The northern lights occur when streams of charged particles from the sun interact with the Earth's magnetic field. When these particles reach the upper layers of the atmosphere near the magnetic poles, they collide with nitrogen and oxygen atoms, exciting them. As the atoms return to their normal state, they emit light in various shades, creating the colorful glow in the sky. In the year 2024, a major snowstorm hit California. Traffic across many roads in the state was completely paralyzed. Many tourists rent houses with panoramic windows overlooking the sea or ocean. If you're one of them, be sure to watch this video. It might change your mind. In this footage, you can see how, under strong pressure, water bursts 6 meters upward from a glacier before falling back down. This video captures a rare event, the collapse of a glacier which caused significant damage to the promenade. Floods of this magnitude occur quite frequently in India, so the country's authorities are constantly rebuilding roads. Looking at this footage, it seems like someone is about to emerge from under the asphalt. However, high seismic activity was recorded in the city at that moment. This person had to face a double misfortune. First, their home was flooded, and then all the water froze. On one farmer's land, an oil geyser suddenly appeared, spewing out black gold with force. In the dry McMurdo valleys located in Victoria Land, Antarctica, a giant crack continues to grow. Unfortunately, scientists can do nothing about it. You've probably never thought about what happens underwater during a magnitude 7.2 earthquake, so here's your chance to see it. Luckily, none of the divers were harmed. This is probably what our world would look like if a glacial apocalypse happened today. The scene resembles a shot from the movie The Day After Tomorrow. It may seem like someone is shaking the camera for effect, but this footage actually captures the beginning of an earthquake. After the storm ended, residents of this city thought everything was over, but then this happened. Just imagine being alone in a boat and suddenly seeing such a whirlpool. I think many would never go into the water again, not even ankle deep. It's hard to imagine the horror these homeowners felt when they woke up in the morning and saw a massive wave outside their window. Normally, water flows through pipes, but in this case, the pipe was floating on the water. You might think this plane made an emergency landing on the water, but in fact, a heavy downpour in Dubai had turned the airport into a giant swimming pool. This footage shows the perfect shot, one that caused water to shoot several meters into the air. Imagine how powerful ocean waves must be if they can rise through 40-meter deep underground cracks. For these tourists, what was supposed to be a peaceful walk around a dormant volcano turned into a thrilling and frightening experience. Thankfully, they hadn't yet reached the summit. Sometimes nature takes care of us by creating natural springs with crystal clear drinking water.
Crazy. So much water is coming out of the rocks.
This snowfall looks simply magical. Just look at the size of those snowflakes. A married couple from Australia can now proudly say that nature built them a natural swimming pool. In some countries, the number of insects per square meter reaches hundreds of thousands. This video proves it. Lightning struck just a few meters from a car driving down the road. Just imagine the fear the driver of that car must have felt. A woman was at home with her dog when an earthquake suddenly began. She was so confused that she started running around the room, trying to hold onto falling objects, but then she calmed down and just sat on the floor. On May 24, 2024, a Metallica concert was held at the Olympiastadion in Munich. In the midst of the legendary Master of Puppets, a blinding lightning bolt split the sky above the venue, turning the show into a real natural spectacle. The musicians carried on without flinching, and thousands of spectators stood in awe as nature itself became part of the concert. Lightning striking a residential building can cause serious damage to household appliances. An electromagnetic pulse and a sudden voltage surge can knock out nearly all devices connected to the power grid. Fortunately, we now have lightning rods that intercept the strike and safely ground it. Mount Ijen, located on the island of Java in Indonesia, is known for a unique natural phenomenon, blue flames. The secret lies in the combustion of sulfur gases at high temperatures, around 600 degrees Celsius. At night, one can see glowing blue streams of molten sulfur flowing down the volcano's slopes, creating a mystical lava effect, although during daylight, this amazing sight is nearly invisible. Lightning usually strikes the tallest objects. However, exceptions to the rule often occur. It seems nature wanted to peek inside this building and effortlessly removed the roof using the wind. Fortunately, the structure was abandoned, so no one was hurt. The drivers of these cars were on the road during an earthquake. They were lucky the tremors were weak, so they just rocked in their cars and then went on with their day. Storms can do a lot, and sometimes their power is truly impressive. This video proves the well-known fact that hiding under trees during a thunderstorm is very dangerous. Even the most advanced security systems could not protect a solar power plant in India from a severe storm. As a result, it was completely destroyed, with damages totaling millions of dollars. It's truly terrifying when lightning strikes a tree in your yard right before your eyes. This is why it's important to have someone nearby during a violent storm. If not for her colleagues, this woman likely wouldn't have been able to close the doors. The residents of this city were not prepared for a flood of such magnitude. The streets were so heavily flooded that parked cars floated away like ships at sea. Perhaps in ancient times, natural phenomena like hundreds of lightning bolts over a volcano gave birth to legends of titans. Strong winds sometimes create scenes that seem like they belong in a haunted house. This man decided to revisit his childhood and jokingly demonstrated his magical powers with the help of nature. The nervous system in our bodies somewhat resembles the patterns left by lightning strikes. The owners of these boats were quite unlucky as they will now have to buy new watercraft. Nature decided to mock this Tesla owner and caused serious damage. He will probably no longer be able to sell the car at a high price. This lightning strike was so powerful it gave the impression that Zeus himself was nearby and in a very bad mood. Sometimes storms are so incredibly strong that gusts of wind can topple trees that have been growing for decades. The creator of this video personally witnessed the destructive power of nature. After this experience, he will think twice before going outside during bad weather. Sometimes, bad weather brings people closer, but who knows? Maybe those under the umbrella were actually villains or superheroes from DC Comics. The author of this clip captured a funny moment when a pair of pants began flying in the wind outside his house. A powerful thunderstorm damaged power lines, and locals got to enjoy a dangerously beautiful fireworks display. This tornado looked like a giant beam coming from an alien spaceship, as if it were about to abduct a sea vessel. The owners of this house were lucky to be saved during the storm, but now they will have to replace all the windows. You could say this woman was born under a lucky star. The lightning struck right next to her, not directly at her. A strong wind broke a tree as if it were a thin reed. In this footage, you can see the aftermath of a severe flood that affected a portion of a roadway. Although there were many vehicles present at the time, no one was injured. These clouds are a rare natural phenomenon that forms under specific environmental conditions.
Look over there, there's a circle on that's the actual cloud. Yeah. It's like a missing puzzle piece or something.
What is going on here?
with these clouds.
These people watched the flood from inside a cafe. The scene looked like an aquarium, with cars playing the role of fish. This cloud looked like part of a giant tornado. It's no surprise the person filming decided to capture this moment.
Plane's kind of flying in bad weather right now, don't you think?
What caused this phenomenon remains a mystery, but it looked as though someone had opened portals in the sky. During this mountain disaster, it seemed like tons of rocks and earth were falling and turning into a raging river. That night, residents of Dubai observed a strange fireball rapidly descending from the sky. What was it? No one knows. Possibly a meteor or some kind of atmospheric event. There's also speculation that it was a test of new space technology. This footage captures the moment when a large section of rock broke off in West Bay. Due to erosion, this often happens along coastal cliffs. These clouds formed in such a way that it seemed like someone beyond the horizon was manufacturing them. Some natural and cosmic events appear truly magical, and here is one of them. This woman changed her mind about visiting the building due to the sheer number of flying insects. I think many of you would have made the same decision.
Oh, this is not cool.
If you think these are low-hanging clouds, you're mistaken. In fact, this footage captures the beginning of a sandstorm in the Astrakhan region of Russia. This tornado could easily be nominated as the largest and scariest in the world. Light rain can quickly turn into a powerful downpour, and it's incredibly unpleasant to be driving in such conditions since visibility drops to nearly zero. From afar, this forest fire looked like a lava flow cascading down a mountain. Wildfires become full-blown disasters if firefighters fail to contain them in time. As a result, animals die and the surrounding air becomes heavily polluted. Whirlpools look mystical and resemble portals to another world. It's amazing how quickly the Ganges River was able to carve a channel into the Indian Ocean with its flow. Sometimes during floods, fish end up inside homes. This footage captures just such a case.
Cá vào nhà em chơi.
During floods, some cities turn into lakes, occasionally even with their own icebergs.
Аккуратно, скамейка. Блин, там что дальше? Ё-моё. Ё-моё.
It may seem like smoke from a fire is sitting on this mountain, but in fact, these are pillars of dust and rock caused by an earthquake. Residents of coastal towns sometimes experience walking through the sea on their own streets.
Pô, eles acabaram de varrer tudo.
During this event, it looked like a giant spaceship was hiding just beyond the horizon. This landslide happened in China in the year 2023. The footage shows a large mountain slope collapsing due to the disaster. Fortunately, it happened far from populated areas and no one was hurt. A bolt of lightning lit up the approaching tornado, giving people time to evacuate. Nighttime tornadoes are twice as dangerous as daytime ones because they are nearly invisible in the dark. The glowing sea is an amazing natural phenomenon caused by microscopic plankton capable of bioluminescence. These glowing waves are often observed in the Bay of Biscay, the Gulf of Aden, off the coasts of India and South Africa, as well as in the Black Sea and the Sea of Okhotsk. During hailstorms, it feels like nature wants to play snowball fights, but sometimes those snowballs are too large and very dangerous. These tourists simply set out on a hike, but instead of a peaceful walk, they witnessed nature's fury. The approach of a powerful storm looks terrifying, and its consequences can be catastrophic. During strong winds, shopping carts and wheeled trash bins become far from harmless. Rope tornadoes are considered less dangerous due to their shape, but don't forget that they can evolve into powerful twisters.
Guys, we're gonna die! You should really go inside.
And that's all from me. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon. Your support means the world to me. It's the best reward I could ask for. Thank you for watching. See you soon. Bye.